So HDL is basically the incubator from which the ideas are born and developed, which allows us to get more business in.
If we look at the mass trends shaping the future of the apparel industry, I would say sustainability and circularity are one of the big ones that we keep our eyes on. Sustainability is important for us as a company, but it's also become such a important ask from consumers and brands out there. So sustainability and circularity are definitely one that we're watching. And then after that, it's hyper-digitization. And hyper-digitization, we've seen it escalate over the last 2 years. We were always moving towards 3D modeling and 3D design, but we've had to increase our activity in that area, and our designers have been working with new platforms, communication platforms, as well as technical sketching and technical apparel making when it comes to 3D. Since we are a co-creation space, we had to take the physical and make it virtual and make sure that we didn't lose any of the contact that we had before. And then there's a third trend, I would say, is mass customization. There we really have to keep watch over the relationship between a consumer's dressing style and their relationship with clothing. If we look 10 years ago, we saw fast fashion moving in, and it just took the world by storm. Before that, people would buy seasonally. So now with the whole conscience coming in, with sustainability coming in, watching how people dress and what their individual needs are is very important. So I think mass customization is also something we need to keep our eyes on.
HDL to Hirdaramani is basically what Skunk Works is to Lockheed or Phantom Works is to Boeing. I refer to those because I like the aircraft industry, and that is where all the cutting edge developments are done. So HDL is also, for us, it works as a co-creation space where, for example, we will work with the buyers teams and we will have design and development teams working 24 hours to solve problems, to give new concepts, new designs, new very innovative designs to our buyers, which they would find very difficult to get somewhere else. It is a unit manufacturing establishment or a unit design and development establishment whereby we will have our design, development, fabric sourcing, sewing, washing, finishing all in one unit. So thereby we are able to very, very quickly come up with various concepts. So the design and development teams will work day in, day out and come up with all kinds of different concepts that cater to market demand.
It's no secret that the jeans industry is a huge polluter, and jeans is a very polluting industry, and we are in the jeans business. Over 1 billion pairs of jeans are produced a year. Right? And at any given time, at least half the world is wearing jeans. So this becomes a big problem environmentally, because jeans are extremely water consuming, extremely chemical intensive in their production. So we, as a large part of what we make is jeans. We definitely imagine a cleaner world. I've been speaking about jeans, but we are also into other casual wear. We're into non-denims, into chino bottoms and jackets. We have collaborated with the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, and we were part of the first group community of brands that actually sat down and came out with a set of guidelines for circular jeans, which looked at material health, bringing in cleaner materials, materials that came from recycled sources. So that way we bring the fiber back into the system. Because if I just for a minute ask your viewers the question of what % of your wardrobe do you wear? If they take 2 seconds to think about that, there's a good 60% sitting in lost value, and that ends up in landfill. So rather than that, how do we bring that fiber back into the recycled and back into the system, rather than extracting virgin fiber? So this is the kind of thought process that we're constantly in when it comes to reimagining what the apparel world would look like. But at the same time, we're very conscious of the fact that style and fashion is what drives the apparel industry. So it's about balancing both of these.
So Hirdaramani Industries consists of 7 manufacturing establishments, that is sewing plants, 2 washing plants, 1 warehouse and storage facility, and HDL. HDL is our design and development hub. Actually, it is HDL that is the enabler. It is HDL that will enable us to grow Hirdaramani Industries. So HDL is basically the incubator from which the ideas are born and developed, which allows us to get more business in. HDL was founded in 2017, at least the concept came up in 2017 and it went active by about 2019. Since then, we were able to grow the business by well over 60% during that period from then on to now. By virtue of having a design and development center here, which is an all-inclusive facility that contains every aspect of our manufacturing operation, buyers are at liberty to come and work with us and acquire the necessary knowledge and skills that are relevant to our capabilities, as well as we get a good idea as to what the buyers want. So we get together with them, we will develop a product to a specific price point using specific materials, and thereby we will have a product which is approved from day one. Then we might have maybe 10 or 15 or a whole collection that goes out to the respective buyers, and then they would select certain garments from that, and then that would come back as regular orders. Now once it comes back as a regular order, what happens is the knowledge that has been acquired at HDL is then handed over to the separate production units like the sewing plants, the washing plants regarding the sewing skills, the washing methods, the techniques. All that is done and learned at that point. So with that, we are able to move the bar sort of and push for business which we were otherwise unable to do.